So welcome friends, again we meet myself Dr. Chandrakant Shivaji Ahir, Assistant Professor in Chemistry, MGVs, MSG College, Malegaon Camp, Malegaon, Nasik. So in last video we see this different kinds of heat or enthalpy of reactions and continue with third video. This is my fourth video. We start a new topic, that is resonance energy. Resonance energy for thermodynamical data. From thermodynamical data. So by considering thermodynamical point of view, we calculate this resonance energy. So what is resonance energy? Definition: the extent of stabilization of a substance per mole of a consequence of resonance is called as a resonance energy or resonance stabilization energy. So in this case, this stabilization, more the stabilization, more is the resonance energy or resonance stabilization energy. So in this case we consider this substance in fixed quantity, that is per mole of substance, and thus this energy is also constant for fixed amount of substance. For example, when we consider example, we understood these definitions. Example is benzene. So what is required? For example, we require this resonance form of molecule, thus this substance may be conjugation in their form. So this benzene is aromatic in nature, 3 double bond, 3 single bond in conjugations, and thus this molecule of benzene has 3 double bond in resonance. Thus it shows exceptional stabilization, that is it does not shows addition reaction through has 3 double bond, but it undergo substitution reaction to retain or preserve their aromatic character. So it having 3 double bond do not undergo addition possessing double bond, but it undergo substitution reaction maintaining these 3 double bond in aromatic characters. So this is the stabilization, resonance stabilization energy or resonance energy of benzene. How we calculated? By considering thermodynamical or thermochemical data. Now calculate the resonance energy for heat of hydration. So in this case we consider this thermodynamical process as a hydration, heat of hydrogenation reaction. Hydrogenation means addition of hydrogen across double bond, that is a hydrogenation, and for that we consider this heat. When one double bond, for example this heat of hydrogenation in case of cyclohexene, 6 carbon atom in cyclic state possessing one double bond. So for one double bond to be saturated or hydrogenation, it required energy is minus 29 kilocalorie per mole. So this is the energy required for hydrogenation of one double bond. If we have the 3 double bond in benzene, we have 3 double bond, so this energy required, it should be, or it like 3 times. So 3 times of that 29 kilocalorie per mole, and this our expectation is minus 87 kilocalorie per mole energy is required to hydrogenate this 3 double bond. This heat of hydrogenation of benzene, when we consider practically at that time, minus 50 kilocalorie per mole of energy is released. So what is this difference? This difference is the resonance energy of benzene. Resonance energy of benzene, and that is 37 kilocalorie per mole, and it is called as a resonance energy or resonance stabilization energy for benzene. So in this example we clearly see that this much amount of energy is less evolved. Why less evolved? Because benzene possessing this much amount of energy less. When energy is less, molecule is more stable, and that is called as a resonance stabilization energy, and it is 37 kilocalorie per mole in case of benzene. Next topic is Kirchhoff equation. What is this? It is a variation of heat of reaction with temperature. See, this heat evolved or absorbed in a reaction depends upon the temperature at which this reaction is carried out. This first line is studied in 1856. This Kirchhoff's was gives the relationship. What it shows? In relationship it shows that this variation of heat of reaction with the temperature and is stated as definition: the change in heat of reaction at a constant pressure for every degree change in temperature is equal to change in heat capacity. It is equal to the change in heat capacity at constant pressure accompanying the reaction. So when we change this heat of reaction, it changes by changing the temperature, and it is equal with the change in heat capacity. So as soon as the heat of reaction is changed, heat capacity is changed by changing the temperature at constant pressure. This is the condition. So let's consider this simple chemical reaction and evaluate this change in enthalpy. This reaction when the temperature is changed from T1 to T2. T1 is lower temperature, T2 is higher temperature. So A mole of A reactant to form B mole of B product. So what is the enthalpy of reaction? As usual, this delta H of reaction is equal to delta H of product minus delta H of reactant. So first case, differentiation of both sides with the respect to the absolute temperature at constant pressure. So first condition is we consider this definition by remaining pressure constant. In this reaction, when we consider pressure is constant at that time, what is the differentiation say? D by dt of delta H, d by dt of delta H of reaction at constant pressure is equal to d by dt of product, d by dt of enthalpy of product at constant pressure minus this d by dt of enthalpy of reactant at constant pressure. So same equation we consider in differentiation form. So in this case, when we differentiated before that, we consider this delta H of product upon dt at constant pressure is heat capacity of B. For product is B, so this is the heat capacity of B. When we consider D by delta of heat of hydrogenation of reactant with respect to temperature at constant pressure, at that time it is a heat capacity of reactant A. By substituting this value, so this delta of heat of reaction is equal to heat capacity of product B minus heat capacity of reactant A with respect to dt, with respect to change in temperature. So this heat enthalpy of reaction is changed with respect to temperature, and thus this d delta of heat of reaction is equal to the Cp, heat capacity of product minus heat capacity of reactant at constant pressure, is delta of Cp, delta heat capacity of whole reaction with respect to temperature, where this delta Cp is a heat capacity of product minus heat capacity of reactant. This equation is integrated between the limit T1 to T2. We get, so integrate this equation between the limit T1 to T2. Lower limit is T1, higher is T2. Lower temperature to higher temperature with respect to temperature. Or rearrange this equation, what we get? Delta 2 minus delta 1 upon T2 minus T1 is equal to delta of Cp, that is heat capacity of reaction, change in heat capacity of whole reaction. It is a change in heat capacity of whole reaction. As we see here, this delta Cp is a heat capacity of product minus heat capacity of reactant, and thus this explain this Kirchhoff equation or Kirchhoff law. This enthalpy change of reaction with respect to temperature is equal to change in heat capacity of that reaction. So this delta H2, delta H1 are the enthalpy changes of reaction, whole reaction at temperature T2 and T1 respectively. Higher temperature heat changes delta H2, at lower temperature T1 heat changes delta H1, and it is equal to the heat capacity change of whole reaction. Second condition, when we differentiate both sides of this reaction to absolute temperature at constant volume. When we consider volume constant, this volume change is 0, and we know this enthalpy is equal to, or this enthalpy is used for increasing internal energy plus work done. At that time when we consider delta V is 0, this whole term becomes 0, and this enthalpy is used for only to increase the internal energy, and thus the delta H is replaced by delta U. So delta U2 minus delta U1 is upon T2 minus T1 is equal to delta of CV. What is delta of CV? This is the heat capacity of whole reaction at constant volume. V2 and U1 are the internal energies changes of reaction at temperature T2 and T1 respectively. And here is also this delta CV is equal to heat capacity of product B at constant volume minus heat capacity of reactant A at constant volume. So this is the Kirchhoff equation in terms of constant pressure and in terms of constant volume. Then the last concept or last point of this chapter is third law of thermodynamics. So what is the statement of third law of thermodynamics? The entropy of all perfectly crystalline solid may be taken as 0 at absolute 0 temperature. Or another word, every substance has a finite, it having some positive entropy, but at absolute 0 temperature the entropy may become 0, and in fact it does become 0 in case of perfectly crystalline solid. This word is very important. In case of perfectly crystalline solid at absolute 0 temperature, at absolute 0 temperature this entropy becomes 0, and that is the third law of thermodynamics. This absolute temperature means 0 Kelvin temperature, not degree centigrade. This is to be remembered. What is the importance of third law? It is used for calculation of absolute entropy. What is entropy? Entropy is the disorder of system or randomness of system. As we go on decreasing temperature, this randomness decreases and this entropy becomes 0. So at any temperature, when we consider temperature greater than 0 Kelvin, at that time this substance or this molecule or this system possesses some entropy, and that entropy is calculated directly by using this equation. This helps to calculate the absolute entropy of chemical compound at any desired temperature. This is explained as ds. D means change, S means entropy. This entropy change is equal to D means change, Q means heat. This change in heat, it may be absorbed or released upon T. T is a temperature, desired temperature T. But we know the Kirchhoff equation, this heat capacity is equal to dq upon dt. Rearrange that, we get this dq is equal to Cp into dt. When we shift this dt on other side, it become multiplier, and we put this value in dq. At that time we get ds is equal to Cp dt upon t. So dt upon t. The entropy change of substance when temperature changes from absolute 0 to temperature T can be calculated using the equation. Same equation when we go over the previous slide. This change in entropy is equal to heat capacity into dt upon T. So when we consider absolute 0 Kelvin to temperature T, so we integrate that previous equation. ds is integrated from S0 to ST. This entropy is changing from S0 to ST. 0 temperature, 0 Kelvin to temperature T. At the same time, this other side, this Cp dt upon T is integrated from temperature 0 to temperature T. So when we substitute this lower limit, higher limit, what is the equation? This ST higher limit minus lower limit S0 is equal to this side. we know this third law of thermodynamics, where S0 is the entropy of substance at absolute zero temperature, and St is the entropy of a substance at temperature T. And according to third law, this at entropy at absolute zero temperature is 0. Putting this value, this S0 becomes 0, and we directly get this St, that is entropy at temperature T, that is desired temperature. And it is equal to integration of Cp into dt upon T between the limit T0 to temperature T. 0 to temperature T. This is the limit of integration, and we directly get these values. Say, when we consider this graph figure, this plot of first figure A, heat capacity Cp versus temperature T. This Cp, heat capacity versus temperature in Kelvin. When we consider second B, that Cp versus log T. The Cp same, heat capacity versus log of T. So this nature of graph is changes. The entropy S of substance at temperature T, desired temperature, higher temperature, can be calculated from the measurement of heat capacities at a numbers of temperature between 0 Kelvin to T Kelvin. So these CPs are calculated from 0 temperature to temperature T, 0 temperature to temperature T. So what is that equation? This entropy at temperature T is equal to integration of Cp dt ln T, that is dt upon T is ln T, d ln T, integration between the limit 0 to T temperature. Can be evaluated by plotting Cp versus T, that is 2.303 log T, and then measuring the area under the curve between T0 to T is shown in above figure. So this area under the curve represents the entropy. As temperature increases, this area under the curve goes on increasing, and this entropy is also increases with respect to heat capacity. If Cp is supposed to be almost constant, say if this is the condition, if Cp, heat capacity, is considered as a constant at the temperature range from 0 to T Kelvin. For temperature T, this entropy of reaction is equal to integration of Cp d ln T limit T0 to T temperature. This equation can be simplified as entropy at temperature T is equal to Cp ln T, that is 2.303 Cp log T. In this case, this Cp we consider as a constant for temperature T. This equation helps to calculate the value of S directly from the value of Cp and T. The Cp value for particular temperature, we get the Cp value from this graph. This area shows entropy. So this is the first condition when we consider this Cp almost constant at particular temperature. 0 degree centigrade Cp is fixed, at T temperature Cp is fixed. It changing, but at particular temperature it remains constant. In next slide, another condition, it is d by T cube law. We consider before. When we consider Cp is constant in previous slide now, but when we consider Cp, it not be measured with accuracy below the temperature 15 Kelvin. It is not degree, it is a Kelvin temperature. Below 15 Kelvin temperature, that is 0 to 15 Kelvin temperature, we do not measure Cp accurately, and thus this part of Cb of experimental curve in previous graph, using the Cp value, this curve is extrapolated to get the values at 0 Kelvin. See previous slide. This part Cb, this part, when we consider this temperature 15 Kelvin and higher temperature, below this 15 Kelvin temperature we don't measure this Cp values of substance. How it measure? We extrapolate this graph to reach the 0 degree Kelvin temperature or absolute zero temperature, and for that we extrapolate this BC graph to point A. So what is the simple way? From 0 degree to 15 Kelvin temperature, the Cp values are not correct or do not measure accurately, and for that we have this d by t cube law. What is this d by cube law? This heat capacity Cp between the range 0 to 15 Kelvin temperature is obtained by d by t cube law. What is that law? Cp is equal to A T cube. Cp is equal to A T cube. So this Cp is converted into temperature. What is this A? Where A is a constant and it is determined from the values of Cp at some low temperature. And thus in previous equation we consider this entropy at temperature T is divided into two integrals. We divide this temperature below 15 and above 15. So below 15 we consider as a temperature 0 to T1 temperature, plus same equation integration limits are changes. T1 temperature is changing from T1 to our desired temperature T. This is the desired temperature T. So we get or bifurcate this entropy at T in two different entropies. So first integral we consider as a first integral, second is considered as a second integral. For entropy of first integral we call it as a delta S1. For entropy of second integral we call it as a delta S2. So in first integral can be calculated by using the d by t cube law. We substitute this value Cp as a T cube in this equation. So this is the first integral. We differentiate only first integral, that is delta S1. This first integral we substitute value of Cp, that is A T cube. This T is cancelled with 1T, so it remains T square. Again in this case when we integrate this equation at that A is constant. Just now we say this A is constant, taking outside the integral, and we integrate the T square with respect to temperature between the limit 0 to T1 temperature. At that time we know the integration x raised to n, that is the x raised to n plus 1 upon n plus 1. In this case x is T raised to 2, that is T raised to 2 plus 1 upon 2 plus 1, that is T cube upon 3. But here this lower integral is 0, we delete that part. Upper integral is T1, so T1 cube, A is constant, taking outside the integral, A T1 cube upon 3. A T1 cube upon 3. So this is the integration of this first integral, where temperature is 0 to 15 Kelvin, lower temperature, where this values of Cp is not accurate. So it is calculated, or this different integration is derived by considering the d by t cube law. We get the integration of first part of first integral, that delta S1 is equal to Cp A T1 cube upon 3. This temperature is T1 temperature, upper temperature T1 cube upon 3. Again we know this d by cube law, A T cube is Cp. So in this case this A, instead of T we have T1 cube. So A T1 cube is a Cp upon 3, but this Cp is at temperature T1. Thus this Cp is respect to with temperature T. So in this case this Cp is with respect to temperature T1. So this Cp upon 3. So again we convert back A T cube into Cp, A T1 cube into Cp, and divide by 3, where T is T1 temperature. Next slide. Just now we differentiate this first integral delta S1, we get this value Cp upon T, where T is T1 temperature. Now we differentiate second integral, the second part of the entropy of substance or system, that is delta S2. For this integration we directly go for graphical representation, and by graphical method we calculate these values of integration, and therefore entropy of solid between temperature 0 Kelvin to T Kelvin is given by the equation entropy at temperature T. First integral is Cp upon 3 where T is T1 temperature plus integral second, which is calculated or solved by using graphical method. So this is the final equation of entropy of solid substance at temperature T. Suppose if there is some allotropic change between the temperature range 0 to T Kelvin, if this solid substance undergo allotropic change, if those, then what we have, we add that allotropic changes, that entropy of transformation. This allotropic change means again disorder, again entropy increases. This entropy is respective to the entropy of transformation, and that is equal to delta H upon T, heat of delta, that is a change in enthalpy of transformation at that particular temperature. At that particular temperature is added in above equation. So this first part solved by d by T cube law. Second part, this integral is solved by using graphical method. In addition to that, if substance undergo allotropic change, we add this entropy of transformation. So this final equation is entropy at temperature T is Cp upon 3 where T is T1. The second integral solved by graphical method, and when allotropic change we must add this entropy of transformation. So we solve this entropy for that substance. Next point is entropy of liquid and gaseous substances. Previous example we consider solid substance, now we consider liquid or gaseous substances. What is the total absolute entropy of substance at given temperature will be the total of all entropies, summation of all entropies, whatever may be the change, whatever may be the disorder, collect all disorder with respect to their enthalpies, heat. All enthalpies are collected. So total absolute entropy of a substance given temperature will be the total of all entropy change which the substance undergo in order to reach the particular state starting from crystalline solid at absolute 0 Kelvin. Absolute 0 temperature means 0 Kelvin temperature, and we know by third law at absolute 0 Kelvin substance shows 0 entropy, and thus it shows in solid form. If it is in perfect crystalline solid, its entropy is 0. And when such substances start to heating, when we increase temperature, this undergo increase in entropy, and we collect all the entropies for this transformation from absolute 0 temperature to our desired temperature. See, for example, if a substance is in gaseous form, for example gaseous substance at 1 atmospheric pressure and 298 Kelvin, that is 25 degrees centigrade temperature, the entropy of gas at 298 Kelvin will be the sum of 5 entropies involved at different stages given at. Suppose for example gaseous substances at 1 atmospheric pressure is heated from absolute 0 temperature to 298 Kelvin. So this is the range of temperature. When we increase this temperature, at that time substance undergo change in entropies. So in this case there are 5 types of entropies, and we collect all entropies. See, this entropy change for these gaseous substances from 0 Kelvin to 298 Kelvin. So there are 5 steps. This is the first, second, third, fourth and fifth steps. We consider these 5 steps. First is the entropy of heating of crystalline solid from 0 Kelvin to Tm temperature. What is Tm? Tm is a melting point of that substance. Melting point of that substance. And this first point is calculated by using Cp of solid T ln T, where temperature change from absolute 0 to melting point of that solid substance. Substance is gaseous form, but at absolute 0 Kelvin it remain in solid form, and that solid goes into molten form, liquid state, at which its melting point. That is the first step. Second, delta Hm upon Tm, that is the heat of melting or entropy of melting upon melting temperature. Tm is a melting temperature, where T delta Hm is a latent heat of melting. See, substance remain in molten form at that time. This is the latent heat of melting. Next, third step, entropy of heating the liquid into gaseous form. That is, liquid is heated from melting temperature to boiling temperature. Tm is melting temperature, Tb is a boiling point of that liquid. Molten means liquid is get boiled. So this is the change. Cp of liquid dt upon T, integrating between the limit melting point of temperature to boiling point of that liquid. So this is the third step. Fourth step, entropy of vaporization, delta Hv upon Tb. Tb is a boiling temperature, where delta Hv is a latent heat of vaporization. Latent heat of vaporization, where this substance undergo gaseous form. For that we consider this latent heat of vaporization. All liquid is converted into vapor form. And the last step is, fifth step is the entropy of heating the gas from Tb to 298 Kelvin. Now in this case, substance is converted into gaseous form now at its boiling temperature, and further temperature is increases up to T. At that time, this substance further shows increase in entropy. Further increase in entropy. In that entropy changes is Cp of that gas, gaseous state. This is a solid state, liquid state. Now it is in gaseous form. So this heat capacity of gas into d ln T, integrating the limit or differentiating the limit, integrating the limit Tb to T. What is Tb? Boiling temperature to desired temperature, that is 298 Kelvin. So addition of these 5 entropies, collectively we get this entropy change for that gaseous substance from 0 Kelvin to 298 Kelvin. So this is about entropy of liquid and gaseous substance. Thank you, dear friends. So in this video we complete the last point of this chapter, that is chemical energetics. In next video we consider this some problem based on these topics or some additional information. Thank you very much.